Hello, and welcome back to Mario RPG episode 7, I do believe is what we are on right now. I cue these things up and then I totally forget to look. I think it's on the... That's not on the title. Anyway, I think we're on episode 7. It feels like episode 7, doesn't it? Which would be, there are 14 episodes. We are halfway through our Mario RPG remastered. Or remake, I guess. Remaster just means, hey, there she is, Peach. Hello, Peach. Mario, you did come, but now that you're here. Again, I didn't really take the time. I don't know that I had a format in mind for what I was doing when I did this. So yeah, I didn't leave any room to talk or to go over to read the dialogue. Apparently, though, I left that going for a while. Aha, he says. What should we do? Lewis returning, isn't he? I know. I'm not even going to bother. It's not going to work. So, yeah, we're going to hide behind the curtains. And I'm pretty sure this screwed up. It's so cool, though. I mean, because I remember, like, on an RPG, the curtains didn't move like that. I mean, just that little bit. I mean, just they move with the wind, you know, with the rustling. It's pretty darn cool. Because I'm pretty sure they were just static. They were just, like, you could go behind them, and then they didn't move. I think. They certainly didn't have that nice effect to them. Just little things like that. And what really sucks, though, is sometimes it takes sitting back to spectate in order to to see those things, to really take them in and appreciate them. Because otherwise, it's like just the overall aesthetic looks good. You're like, oh, this looks much better now than it did back then. But you're not necessarily taking in all the details that went into the individual details that go into making the whole thing look awesome. And I didn't notice. And you all probably did, but I never noticed that there's a Samus doll in the box. I'm not sure if that was there in the N64, the Super Nintendo version, but she is definitely there now. We obviously see the Peach doll, and there's Mario up at the top, but I don't think I ever noticed that there was a Samus there. And they never really made Samus toys, did they? Kind of think that would have, like, a Samus action figure seems like a la G.I. Joe or something would have seemed very fitting. Would have been pretty darn cool. I'm sure they make statues, like especially in Japan. They have those they're essentially model kits. I'm sure they have those. Now, see, this looks. You're like, oh, there's no way he's going to screw this up. But yeah, I'm pretty sure we go through this at least twice. Hopefully not a third time. That would be embarrassing. I'm like, wait, what? I didn't remember what was involved in this. I'm too damn clever. That's the problem. That's when I got nervous. I'm like, oh crap. Oh dear. Close call there. See, and all these are pretty easy, and I'm pretty sure they do something dickish in a second. Yeah. That was it, yeah. I was like, wait, what? No! And then that was the worst part. We had to start all over again. I mean, it's maybe not as bad as like losing a life or something in a like a normal game, but it still is not, for crying out loud. Because this part wasn't challenging. This is kind of slow. I say as I almost get caught. But the fact we got to make it all the way to the third one, and if you're not really paying, if all you're doing is bemoaning the fact that you screwed up, you forget what actually happened. So I'm trying to remember. Yeah, I know they shifted. So I think I just remember I need a bolt. As soon as they get to that where they have 3 in a row, they do the first 2 or the first 1 or 2, and then I think we just need to bolt all the way down to the bottom. That is my belief. And I hope we don't screw this up the third time. You know, it's nice one of the things I like about Mario, I like about this series and in Nintendo in general, a lot of their games, if you're having a kind of a crappy day, especially if you grew up in the 80s like I did. Oh, excuse me. That was weird. I think we just stay there, right? Nope. Okay. We do that. And now we go back down. Nope. No, don't listen to me. Don't listen to me. Good. You stay there. Now you go back down. No. Yes. Run. See? I screwed it up. Barely, but I did. So okay, so I am embarrassed. I said I would be embarrassed. I am suitably embarrassed. This is embarrassing. And if I was going for a less raw, just like a straight playthrough, I probably would have cut this part out, but we're just doing a straight playthrough as if it was live. The only difference is I'm not holding the controller right now, but I have to behave as if I am. That's the rule that I just made up just now. I feel like they could have started with number 2. Like, okay, you know what? You two try it again, and then build from there. I don't think they need to go all the way back to the first one. That's punitive, is what that is. But yeah, if you get nostalgia from being able to play old Nintendo games or old Super Nintendo games, mix that with just the aesthetic, kind of cartoonish, just fun, low stakes, whimsical, fantastical type layout. When you're having a crappy day, crappy week, or you're just feeling pretty crappy about life in general, you can watch this or play this and you feel a little bit better. It's a little better to be playing just because you're focusing on it, whereas like right now, you don't need to be knowing my personal business or anything like that, but there's definitely rough seas currently. I don't even know part of the problem some of the time. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Oh, okay. Wow. So yeah, that's embarrassing. This is why I'm not a gamer. I've said it before and I'll say it again. I'm not a gamer. Not because I don't want to be, I'm just not good at it. So this is when the game, it says, okay, this person's not going to get it. But usually, you can evade that. And he's like, I could have sworn. And I think he leaves. And then something happens and you do end up fighting him. But, well, I don't remember. Maybe you fight him even if he doesn't find you? But that wouldn't make any sense. There's got to be some penalty. I'm pretty sure this is an extra fight. I think we're going to fight him at some point. By himself. Or maybe not. I don't know. Or maybe that's the thing. Maybe we only have to fight him and not the Shy Guys initially. I'm not sure. There's some penalty I think we accrued for not getting it right, other than a time penalty. Or maybe that was it. Maybe it was just you got to get it done, and eventually the game goes, okay, clearly you're a little too slow for this, so we're just gonna move things along here. Otherwise, you're gonna complain about how crappy the game is. I thought he was gonna run away. He did not. Mario's hurting. Bowser's in great shape. And that's usually the key. As long as at least one of your characters is in good shape and you're making good progress on the bad guy, you don't have to worry about it. But when you got one goes down, one's in bad shape, and the other one's starting to hurt, that's so cool. I mean, not the coolest, but it's pretty cool. That's why I like Genos. Or Geno. Genos is One Punch Man. Dang, he went down a lot easier than I remembered. Alright, what do we got here? Middle. Yay! Yeah, as a boss fight goes, that was pretty weak. Or I'm just getting that darn good that he can't hold a candle to me anymore. See, even Bowser, the bad guy, even he dances a little bit. My name's the password? What's up with that? Okay, we have to fight him again. That makes sense. So I think he would have left, and then we would come out, and then this is what would happen. So I'm pretty sure that fight was just kind of like a precursor, because it doesn't make any sense. Why would he run away? You know, it's... I think you'd say like, oh, okay, there's nobody here, and they come out, and then they're gone, and yeah, I'm pretty sure that's how it worked. And I'll honestly, I don't even remember these guys. They seem a little out of place. And that's ridiculous. A bubble coming out of your trumpet. Ridiculous. Nice. Hadouken! That was not as fun. I like the one where the hands go away and it's like the guns are inside. And it's so cool. It's so cool. Go, Gino, go. I think that's why he became a fan favorite. He's just got the coolest moves. Mallow, stick with him. He's got his electricity, or electric storm, or lightning storm, or whatever it is pretty good. It's one of the few AoEs you have. But in general, he's dopey. He's he really is kind of a doughboy. I mean, I know he's not, but he's a cloud. I think he's one of the cloud people, right? If I'm not mistaken. We discover that later on. Oh, spoiler. Sorry. Yeah, he's not a marshmallow. There was somebody else. I'm trying to think of the other way. Somebody else pronounced it differently. It was like Malo or something, and I was like, "You got to be." Oh, yeah. Okay, I know who it is now. I'm not gonna say his name because I'm not trying to call anybody out. But he's a streamer, and like there's just certain characters. He just has an interesting way of pronouncing their names, and I don't know if he does it on purpose, if he's kind of playfully trolling people or what. But when I heard it, he's like, "Oh, Malo," or I'm like, "What? How do you pronounce that?" I could be wrong. I could be the one doing it. But I think it's mallow. Like as in marshmallow. Well, but it wouldn't be mellow. I think it's like short for marshmallow. Like mallow. I don't know. See again, and not to bring anything crazy into it, but you see, even up to Mario RPG, Mario is coming to the princess's rescue. And there's nothing wrong with that. Princess is not feeble. She's not lesser than. And Mario gets to do the hero thing. Why it was such an egregious thing for the Mario movie to like just acknowledge that, or to have that be part of it, even if it's just the first half. And then go on from there. It doesn't have to be, it would be boring. The plot would get boring. If you're going to make several Mario Brother movies, rescuing the princess every time is going to get boring. And you especially for a movie, you want her to grow and everything. But for the very first Mario movie, since the the abomination that was the 1980s Mario Brothers movie, I think it was 89 or something it came out. Maybe it was the 90s. I don't know. It was horrible whenever it came out. At least for me, as somebody who's looking for, I was looking visually. The Super Mario Brothers movie was everything I wanted, visually. But having a movie where Mario doesn't even really need to be in it because the princess has it all under control. That's modern audience garbage. And I think people were willing to buy it because they do a decent job of make it seem like Mario actually is cool and he's the hero. They let him do some things, but anyway, I don't need to get into all that whole thing. The bottom line is, this is the second time we've come to Peach's rescue. And it's certainly, and that's an RPG, and it's not going to be the last time. The series that's kind of a staple, or a trope, if you will, of the Mario series. There's nothing wrong with having that in the movie, but at least, it looked, the visuals, it sounded, it looked good. I could have done without Bowser's ridiculous pining, because we definitely, in these later games, we do get the idea Bowser likes Peach. It's not just, I'm, abducting the princess because You know, like in the first one, in the original Mario Brothers, he's a sorcerer, and he's turned all the people into blocks, and you know he's there to take over the Mushroom Kingdom, and his he has no stated affinity for the princess. But and obviously Mario 2 is not even, doesn't really fit in with the world. I mean, it's a fine game, but it was never meant to be a Mario movie or a Mario game. Initially, it became one. It got co-opted as one. So you kind of take a break from the traditional norm. Then Mario 3, again, there's no like, oh, I love Peach, I like Peach. Or even Mario World, really. That doesn't develop until later. Or maybe this one, really. I think it's when he's like, Peach is mine, I love Peach, or whatever. I don't remember, but... And that's fine. You just can't have... You can't have the villain be so easily malleable and so pathetically in love that he's not able to say no. Like, if you ever believe that she has that his victims or his captives or whoever have actually more power, more control than he does, you got a problem, because your heroes are only good as your villains. And if your villain is, as the kids today say, simping for someone, it's one thing to pine after. And if he had said, you know what, there's a level, you know, there's a point that I'm not willing to go, even for you. I mean, he does get pissed off at her finally, but that's after he offers her the freaking star, you know. And if she had just been a little less meh, she could have been like, oh Bowser, yeah, show me that star. Where is it? Because it's the invincibility star. It's the MacGuffin. It's the way you win instantly. You know, she could have grabbed it and then taken off. They awkwardly avoid doing that so that they can, you know, let Mario pretend he's relevant. But anyway, I forgot. I remember we encounter Peach in the castle at one point, but I totally forgot that there's, you know, that we're supposed to be rescuing her now from this guy, Booster. And I think I'm going the wrong way. I think I've misunderstood what our next objective is, or at least how to get there, and we are now just kind of, or maybe not. I should have more faith in myself. See, the good thing about Mario 2 is you have interactions like this where you have enemies that within the lore, they're not like they don't serve Bowser. Like if we were come against a bunch of Koopas, which we might do, but I'm pretty sure we don't. When we have Bowser, we're no longer fighting like Koopa Troopas and all that kind of stuff. Because like, why doesn't Bowser just say, "Hey, knock it off. You're my guys"? But you have Mario 2 villains that have no connection to Bowser. No allegiance to Bowser. Yeah, I think I realized I done screwed up. I screwed it up. Yeah, I might have actually had to look this up online because I may have missed the cue because I'm talking right now, so I'm not really focused. But even when I was focused on the game, I think I missed. Like right now, honestly, I have no idea what we're supposed to do. And I'm getting flabbergasted because everyone I talk to has nothing to say about what I care about. Or maybe I'm strategically doing this. I know where I need to go, but I want to level up before I get there. That can't be the case. I doubt that's the case. I'm pretty sure I'm trying to figure out what I'm supposed to do next. That's my only, I think the only barrier of entry for me for RPGs. There's a lot of RPGs I want to play because I kind of like the idea of it. I like, you know, item management. I kind of like grinding. I mean, not purely, but I like the idea of leveling up, and so I don't mind, you know, getting into battles and especially if the graphics are cool, if the visual effects when you cast certain spells or use certain things, that there's a cool animation for it. I'm totally down with that. But that's why, like, I'll never try to get back into like older like anything pre Super Nintendo RPG. I'm not sure I will, just because it's much more like the character moves forward and swings a sword. You know, it's not as cool looking. So I think the gameplay is there, but the visuals aren't. Whereas here, I mean, and to be fair, the really cool ones, the ones where you're teaming up and they have this whole sequence that are fun to watch, those weren't in the original. But there was enough stuff, and the interaction. I don't know. I really have to check, like Chrono Trigger. I don't think you can play defense if you're getting attacked. If you don't like select defense as your turn, as like what you're gonna do, I don't think you can defend against certain things. You can't have a timed button press to defend yourself. And I don't know that you can enhance your spell by a timed button press either. So it really is, once you're in combat, ironically enough, it's the least amount of stuff that you're actually doing. You're just waiting for your turn, you're selecting an item or an attack, you execute attack, RNG does its thing, and then you get attacked, RNG does its thing again, and you're kind of going back and forth. So I'm not trying to diminish it. Like I said, I like the genre in general, but I think if you're not going to have the razzle dazzle, if you're not going to have, whoa, that attack looked really cool, it needs to be something like Mario RPG where you're still able to interact with. And I might be wrong about the defense. I think I'm not. I know the grid, that kind of like hive, beehive kind of looking octagon thing, that the shield that kind of shows up when you hit the defense button, right? That wasn't in the original. So you didn't really, the only way you knew that you were successful, or if you took 0 damage, there was a good chance you were successful. It could mean that there was a miss, but it does say that there's a miss. So yeah, if you took 0 damage and it wasn't a miss, that means you executed it right. Whereas here you can actually see, oh, hey, my defense went up. It's locked. See, why ask if you can help me if you're not going to say anything helpful? If I say, yes, you can help me, please tell me where to go next. And he's like, I don't know. Yeah, this is a bummer. I will grant you. I will concede the point that most people probably aren't stumped at this point. It's just the way my brain works or doesn't work. Uh-oh. Nope. Okay. I was like, wait a minute. Was that it? I think I got excited too there for a minute. Yeah, so you may be sitting there going, oh, I know exactly what you have to do. I'm like, but that's the thing, when the more involved games got, the more options you had, the more you're like, okay, I'm not sure if it's something simple, I just need to go to X place, or if there is a secret, or if there's, like, I could have sworn there was we were supposed to be able to get, like, I thought, what's his name, took her here, right? I think that's what he said. I'm going to take her to this chapel or whatever. Going to the chapel and we're gonna get married. See, and they're saying, okay, chefs. And I'm like, okay, there's got to be a way in there. Yeah, so they're definitely, so that's what I'm saying. Okay, they're in there. I'm where I'm supposed to be, but how do I get into the gosh darn building? And then he says back entrance. So I'm like, okay, now I know there's a back entrance I need to get to, but how do I get to the back entrance? And I'm stumped. I am stumped in live time, folks. I was stumped back then and I'm stumped now. It's been so long since I played it. So I'm like, okay, who do I need to talk to? Where do I need to go to get to the back entrance? Where has this been covered before? It doesn't make sense that you would go to a completely different part of the map to get to the back of it. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm just looking for all the different ways. I think I do. I think you're not going to see it, obviously, because it wasn't on the screen. But I'm pretty sure I end up having to go online and say, how do you get into the I'm like, please, an item of any kind? Something? It says back door. That would mean it's behind the building, but this is isometric 3D. Like, how do we get behind there? And I don't even know. I'm just looking for anything. It's just desperation. So that's what I mean. Initially, when I came out here, I'm like, okay, where can I go? Like, that's technically behind it, but I'm pretty sure I can't go through the woods to get there. I'm gonna try though. Like, okay, maybe is there? Nope, there's nowhere for me to see. I'm looking. Can I go through the woods? Which is dumb. It's pretty dumb. But I'm desperate. I'm at my wit's end because I don't like consulting the internet for strategies and how to beat games and stuff. I like to do it on my own, but I can't remember because there's a lot of times where I do that. Okay, I think I back out of this pretty quick. Yeah. That's essentially saying don't waste your time. But he doesn't tell me where to go. He just says don't go there. So there's sometimes where I find out the secret or find out the next step and I'm like, oh, yeah, I should have known that. Or, oh yeah, it does say, they did give me that hint, or that, somebody did say, look for the tree or whatever. There's something that I should have known better. And then sometimes like, how was I supposed to figure that out? Like what, if I didn't have a way to figure out what am I going to do? So he's saying they go in the back way. Where's the back way? I don't understand. See, right now I'm living vicariously through this. I'm remembering the trauma. The drama. So we did it, but you couldn't see it. It didn't say like entrance, back door, arrow here. It's literally obscured. But it's not like it was a secret. It's not like it's magically hidden. I mean, I guess it is, because if they wanted to, they could have put the door on the side of the building. Like that we could see where that block was. But like, how would you know? You're just running around tapping A, I think it is, to try to gain entrance. It's just ridiculous. Ridiculous. So yeah, I don't feel as bad about that anymore. I mean, other than that, you could say, look, it says the back of the building. There's obviously nowhere else to go. It's got to be somewhere in that little section. Poor Mario. So this was a little bit frustrating, but I was just so happy to be inside that I didn't care. Oh, I thought that was it. I'm not sure why Mario keeps falling down. I'm getting pissed off. Come on, dang it. Mario, stop falling down. I mean, literally just a... in theory, I probably should start running as soon as he hits the ground. Nope, that's what we did that time. So you can imagine, this was a rough day for me in terms of gaming. So we have the whole trying to get in, and now we got this ridiculous... There we go. Finally get the timing down. And thankfully, there's a save point there. I think there are more of those than there were in the original game, but I can't say I dislike it. As long as the game is willing to give me those save points, I'm more than happy to take them. If I'm a little torn, like I'm going to be trying to play Castlevania tomorrow, like I call it... oh no, you're seeing this after that. So yeah, I've started playing a series called Commit to the Bit. It's 8-bit, 8 in parentheses. Essentially going, hey, I grew up in the 80s. I should have... These are games that I should have beaten. These are some of the harder games, but I should have beat them anyway. So you got Castlevania first, then I'm probably going to do Contra, then Ninja Gaiden, and maybe, if I'm feeling really ambitious, I might try Battletoads. I'm not fully committed to that one, though, because that's usually on the #1 list of most difficult games, and I do, in theory, have a finite amount of time. Like I have to be able to do this before the world ends. Dang, faceplant. She got a little sass there. Yeah, watch where you're going. I've dropped everything: my shoes, my ring, my brooch, and my crown. All right. To be fair, that's a little dramatic. Do we really need to cry? I mean, granted, that's a lot to lose. I would think she'd be crying more so because she's about to be forcefully married, as opposed to losing her footwear, her crown, and her earthly possessions. It makes her come across as kind of materialistic, Not really. I'm messing around, but it's kind of interesting. It's like, okay, she was kind of just like, all right, okay, I'm gonna marry this guy, and I was like, but my shoes. Dang, she's got giant feet. My gosh, she's like this big, and her shoe is like that. She's huge, huge. Good thing she's got that big old dress. You can't see it. She's Bigfoot. My goodness gracious. And another one. This is just back to back to back. Like, I think there's something else. There's one thing that's missing, and I'm just like, yeah. It's like, oh, come on, game. This was a rough day. I'm like, for fuck's sake, what? Every step is agonizingly slow. I've earned my way through this game through sweat, blood, and tears. Like, just get me to the combat, please. The combat I can handle. This whole hunting around and it's just ugh. And I guess that's the other part about RPGs as well. Particularly like games like Zelda. There's, ideally you want a mix of combat and maybe a little bit of puzzling, but I really prefer just, not as much puzzling, not as much. And you can see why, because I'm not good at it. Like, where is the ground? I don't know. Like, all I know is I got in here initially because I just tapped a button and something appeared. The door became apparent because I tapped the button while I was up against something. So I'm just like running up and down the benches, just tapping the button, thinking it's somewhere obscured from view, just like the other thing was. And then, and again, I don't remember where it actually is. Like, did it fall back here? Is it up here? See? I found a ground. Where? Ridiculous. Ridiculous. Mario! Careful, Mario. She got them ginormous shoes. Yes, Bowser, because you're a giant turtle thing, and Mario is, albeit tiny, he's at least human, as is apparently Peach. That's just wrong, Peach. That's just wrong. Now, if that happens, original Mario RPG, I'm okay with it, because they just did it for the laughs. But if they altered it, I don't think he was supposed to get a kiss. I think that was part of it. But based on the movie, I wouldn't be surprised. Like, oh, we don't want her showing any affection for Mario. Ah, she's got to be like, most of that movie. She really treats him like crap. You see her like, I don't know, like she puts the hat on him and pushes it over his face. Like, there's a lot of disrespect for Mario in that from Peach. She doesn't come across as a very nice person, especially if you're a stranger. And I'm a little the cake is not. Oh, that's right. I think the cake is nefarious. You think it's just a cake, but yeah, it's moving. Yeah, I'll just say because it doesn't look particularly tasty. Looks kind of soggy and saggy. Le poke, poke, poke. Oh, Judge, what are you doing? Chef Tort, the cake is moving. Was? I know it was moving. But let's keep our back to it anyway. And see, those are turtles, to be fair. So why they're fighting us when Bowser's clearly there? It just breaks all immersion. I can't get into this game. I have no idea how this. It's broken the world. I'm completely detached and disinterested now. Yoicks. The kick is moving. Run away, sacre bleu. Oh, it's shaking its money. Shake your money maker. Attack with A to blow the candles out. Pain spout. You gotta wonder what was in those ingredients. And you think the chain chomp would be perfect. Like, why did it stop? Just keep going. Just eat the cake. Luckily, its attacks are garbage. Yeah. If you're not doing 30 damage per attack, you're weak sauce. That's all I have to say. See, that's how you do it. 130. I think is it Peach? It's either Peach or Mallow that has the where you can see how many hit points the thing has. The cool thing is a boink. The cool thing is you do that the first time, and even if you lose, you know how many hit points it has to start off with, and you can just do the math in your head as you go through. Boink, boink. And that part is rewarding too. When you're able to trigger it and it does the special, you get the extra damage in there. It feels really good. Sorry, there actually is, especially considering a lot of times humor doesn't translate literally. Well, I shouldn't say literally. Yeah, no, well, yeah, kind of literally. Like, the words that are translated, they're accurate, but they don't really translate well. You're not getting the joke. You're getting a sense of the... He just ate a sentient cake. That I gotta imagine that's gonna give him some kind of indigestion. Okay. But in Mario, I think there's a lot of jokes that do land. I mean, they may not be like laugh out loud funny, but the humor is there. And I think I even have chuckled a few times. So I am a little bit bummed that I'm not actually letting you see all the dialogue. We're not actually going through all the dialogue here. I wasn't even thinking about that as I went. I was just thinking, let me just beat the game. Mostly because, as I've said before, I figure at this point everybody's already seen the playthrough. You're not watching this going, oh, what's this game all about? It's like, okay, I get it. I'm just trying to see some other way to do it. Well, let me see the least optimized way to do it. I mean, and luckily he ate the cake, so there's really not a lot of stuff going on there. Not a lot of cleanup, a lot of carnage and icing and stuff all over things. Sorry, I did just get a summons. Okay, cool. All right. Who's officiating this? Oh, are they gonna ask me to do it? Remind me of the Laffy Taffy from Wreck-It Ralph. Okay. So apparently Mario has his minister license, or what do you call that? Oh, it can't be minister license. It's justice. No, I can't remember what it's called. Because anybody can do it now. Like you just have to get. I think you probably have to pay something, and you get a thing from the state that says, yeah, you can do this, which is, I guess it's fine. Interesting. I just didn't know that was in Mario's repertoire. You know, he's many things. He's a plumber. He's a jumper. He's a lover. He's a fighter. He's a. Sometimes he's a trespasser. Sometimes he's a thief. Sometimes he's a killer. You know, it's a mixed bag. Mario's such a dork. Like everyone else is just chilling, like we're smiling. Mario's like, I'm so happy to be here at your wedding, ruining everything. I stand out like a sore thumb. Overflowing with the power of love. I don't think I went for it. I don't know that I ever go for it here. Probably has some application, but since I didn't really know for a fact, I figured I'd just save the money unless I need it. I guess I was feeling very, very generous. There's probably... No, okay, Flower Tab is actually... That's worth it. I'm glad I ponied up the dough. And that's a pretty nice room, too. Not gonna lie, I totally forgot about what that looked like. That's a really nice room, actually. I like the lighting, got the nice whitish blue kind of streaming in. I don't know exactly what I mean because it doesn't. Yeah, it just looks really nice. Very cozy. Beds look nice, and honestly, hey, I dig on that. The two separate bed things. I know, you know, there's a stigma in the world that, you know, that you gotta sleep with in the same bed as your spouse. But I think it's typically better for both folks if you don't sleep in the same bed, if you can help it. Now, some folks, you got a small room or only one room, you got to do with what you got. But I know me personally and my sleeping and propensity certain nights to toss and turn. If I'm not feeling well, really things get you know, flatulence is a thing. We're all humans, right? But it's a possibility. It'd just be kind of nice to have your own room, or at the very least separate beds, so that your movements and the covers are not common. Like, you're not sharing the covers. You're not sharing. I love that self-making bed. You don't have to worry about tucking anything in. You just get out of bed and the blanket naturally goes on. It's a magical bedroom, really. Really like it. And you know what? Me being there by myself, that just makes more sense. What the heck is that? Waddle, waddle, waddle. Oh, Princess was with us. She just didn't... Okay, I forgot about that. For some reason, I thought she maybe went her own way for a second. A hidden treasure nearby. I think the treasure they're talking about is the friends we made along the way. And that it's an interesting line. It's an interesting line. I can take care of myself. Well, I mean, we all like to think we could take care of ourselves, but you just got rescued, so I don't know. It's an interesting thing. Well, I've got him stashed in my back pocket here. That is kind of a... Yeah. It's a bizarre mechanic where somehow the entire party is packed into Mario's interdimensional back pocket or something. A little revisionist history, but he's lying his butt off, Peach. He's not stretching the truth. He's lying, but of course she's trying to keep it diplomatic. But it's weird. There's some artwork. I think it's from earlier games where it shows Bowser being like 4 times as big. Like I think he's actually holding Peach in his hand. It's like he's like Donkey Kong kind of thing, or King Kong. I don't know when they settled on the actual scale, because in Mario 1 and 3, he's about that size. He's not that much bigger. And I'm pretty sure in the Mario movie they don't make him that much bigger either. He's Donkey Kong size, so they're bigger, but yeah, about that size, I think. But apparently there are some renditions of him. Like I think in Mario 64, he's about 3 times that size, maybe 4 times that size. So I don't know that we have a true canon official, size, weight, height of Bowser. Oh, Mario Odyssey. I think that's what I'm thinking of. Because I remember also thinking, how in the world did he get into that tux? How did he get that tux in under his shell? I mean, obviously I don't think he tucks himself in there like a turtle, although the Koopa kids do that. We never see Bowser go into a shell, do we? Like the Koopa kids, you jump on them and they go into their shell and they spin off and they do their thing. I don't think we ever, in none of the ways that you beat Bowser, does he end up like spinning around in his shell and coming back out. So pretty sure he doesn't get in there. But yeah, I think it's Mario Odyssey. We saw the intro, the cutscene for that, and I think he's holding Peach in his hand. I think. But I think I'm gonna do I'm trying to sort out which games are gonna be played on what days. I think I'm gonna try to do a Mario Odyssey like on a Wednesday or Thursday. Like a little bit more contemporary game. I like doing a lot of retro stuff because that's what I grew up with. See, this room is okay. I think the bed in the middle of the room is a little bit weird. I like the roaring fire, although it just depends. I mean, I would imagine in a castle like this, with the bare walls, bare floor, stone, they probably didn't get all that warm. Like even in the summertime, with all that space, I just don't imagine they got terribly warm, which would be nice. Can you imagine? Like even in the sweltering months of the summer, it just became kinda. And it was like, okay, it's not chilly, but otherwise you kind of had to have a fire going. Because I love the smell of a wood burning fireplace. It's absolutely amazing. Nothing takes me back. Well, why are we all looking around? Are we all perplexed at what we're supposed to do? Oh. I just realized her lipstick is weird. It's almost always been that way, but it's just particularly weird. Like, it's the equivalent of the Hitler mustache. Like, it's just right here. Like, I don't think anybody that I've ever seen, any woman, applies lipstick to the middle of her lips and not to the edges. So in that way, I will say I do like, I'm pretty sure the Peach in the Mario Brothers movie does not have lipstick on. Or if she does, it's not that style. I can get behind that. The leggings under the dress, not so much. That looked ridiculous. But yeah, I just noticed when you see a close-up of it, like, but at a distance you really can't tell too much that it's just right there. But when you get a close-up of her, it's like, why is she just wearing lipstick on this middle? Like our lips go all the way to the corners. Like our lips, you can see our lips. Our lips go here. This is the whole thing is the lips. And yet, for her, lipstick right here. Just right up and down. Just right there. It's obnoxious, really. I'm not trying to nitpick. And obviously, it's not a graphical mistake. That's a choice they made. I just don't understand why they made it. Yeah. Okay, I think we got everything that we need. We know what we need to know, and well, you'd think so, but I don't seem to know where I'm going. I think we're supposed to go up to the left, maybe? Or no, to the woods? No. Yeah, I'm realizing the same thing. Wait a minute. There's no new area here? Nope. Still nope. Definitely not. I'm interested in looking forward to Brotherhood. I think that'll be fun. And I hope to be able to play that when it comes out. I have to look into that though, because I want the physical copy. I know the actual game. Actually, I don't know when the original. I think it releases on the 7th, because it's Marvel vs. Capcom 2. Physical copy comes out on the 22nd of November. I want to say. So I think the original I think Brotherhood comes out on the 7th of November. I mean, that poor frog looks like he's gotten beat with the ugly stick before we even got here. Poor guy. His speech just like smack. He's like, oh gosh. Oh, it's been a hard day, a week for old frog man. Bam. Oh, bam. Sorry, I'm admittedly feeling a little under the weather in a weird way. It's just like a fatigue, not like actually not feeling great, but I'm finding myself kind of hazing out a little bit here, so I do apologize. I'd like to say I'm concentrating on the game, but of course, I'm not playing. Jeez. I love how her hand just gets like super big, like smack, bam. Oh, bam. Can't remember if that... Oh, she uses her umbrella at some point as well, I think. Can't remember if that's in the original. But it's kind of funny. And honestly, I can't remember if we've been here before. Yeah, we've been here before. All right, so I'm finding my way around. I think, is this the Tadpole Lake part? Yeah, see it going to the... No, Monster List isn't going to help you, man. What am I doing? Just checking out how many different things I found. Maybe they said something about a particular villain, or a particular bad guy, or a creature or something, and I'm trying to figure out where it's located. Clearly, I am once again kind of lost. So this is all retrospective. Like, this is what we did. Yeah. Yeah, this was a pretty rough. Oh, there we. Oh no, that just said something, right? Right there. Oh well. I thought there was something that said what was going on, but clearly I was mistaken. There we go. Nice. I got there. I didn't know what I was doing, but I figured out what I was doing.